I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad would want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Today, the World Cup round of 32 spans the continent as nations aim to survive and advance. In Southern California, former champion Spain hunt for their second star against a fearless Austria. In Toronto, a battle of football royalty as Portugal and Croatia collide in a legendary showdown. And in Vancouver, Switzerland and Algeria square off with their World Cup lives on the line. Only a few spots remain in the last 16, so who earns the right to continue their journey? And this is what the fixtures look like starting at SoFi from 3 p.m. It is Spain and Austria from Southern California. Then it's Portugal and Croatia. Two 40-year-old legends of the game will be doing battle in that one. And then in the nightcap, Switzerland and Algeria for a place in the last 16. As welcome you into Golazo Matchday 48 Nations alongside Nigel Reo-Coker and Mike Grella. I'm Chris Wittyngham. And guys, we had a brilliant day of football yesterday, which we'll get to. But on today's games, what I guess to you is the standout fixture of the day?
Just wants to see where Spain's at, really. I think that's the biggest thing when you look at it. Austria is going to be a real good test for Spain right now. They haven't been a team that we could say they've been consistent throughout. There's technical issues that I feel with Spain and tactical things that you can analyze. Well, I look at this Spain now, and my reality of it for me is Lamine Yamal to this Spain team is like Messi to Argentina. Because when he's not there, they're a different Spain. They go back to the old school Spain of just keeping the ball, keeping possession, but no real penetration, no bite, no teeth in the final third. So he really is the catalyst that needs to shine for Spain to do well.
Portugal, Croatia, no doubt about it. To see Ronaldo, Modric in what's probably their sending off for the World Cup, or Ronaldo, you never know, right? He may be playing when he's 60 years old still, standing between the center backs. But that's the game I want to see, because I think a lot of people have counted Croatia out and said, like, the golden age is over, and there's older Perisic there, Modric there, and they're an older team, and they're maybe not as dynamic. They're a population of 4 million, right? And they've counted out. Portugal was a dark horse for a lot of people, by the way, and they had a really underwhelming qualifying campaign, or group stage campaign, I should say. So that's the one I'm most looking forward to, because I think Croatia and the underdogs in that one by the bookies, but for me, I think that they're the favorite.
You talk about Portugal's qualifying campaign. Have you seen their performances in this World Cup?
The group stage, yeah, poor, underwhelming, for sure.
Yeah.
What's been wrong for them? What hasn't been working?
They play with
for this
one man
team?
less every game.
Well,
they play in 10 men.
It's chemistry issues, really, isn't it?
They give themselves a red card before the game starts.
They don't.
With Cristiano Ronaldo.
by picking him in the starting 11.
What's that?
By picking him in the starting 11, yeah.
I think when you're pulling Vitinha out, who's one of the best midfielders in the world before you are Ronaldo, I think there's some issues there. And in the big moments, and we've seen this now in Champions League football, because we had the pleasure of covering that Serie A, all the properties that we have, the margins are so small. Everyone has to have, you need 11 guys having a 7 or above performance.
You can't carry one player.
The details are so small.
Especially at this level, you cannot carry one player in the World Cup. In the modern game now, most teams are so dynamic, so athletic. You need everyone at it if you're going to make the final. And if you just want the proof of that, look at the performance we've seen from France and from Argentina. And I think it'll be hard for any of us to say that in that French team or in that Argentine team.
The USA, baby.
Well, I think that actually takes us.
USA already.
I think you have to allow us to love in on the USA for a minute.
Well, I was speaking, but I was interrupted by USA. So I was like, have you both turned to believers now from that
No, but hold on. You said some of the best performances you've seen so far, and I agree with you on France, and I agree with you Argentina. What about the U.S.? Have they not been one of the most fun teams to watch? They're dominating performances.
I wouldn't say dominating, but
when they played their second team against Turkey,
they have been good. They put in some good performances, but I wouldn't say dominating, because you even critique themselves. You even critique them as well, saying that they need to find ways to control the game better at times. Yeah. You can't go 100 miles per hour for 90 minutes and just front foot forward, going. Because there'll be times, and I use the word we say all the time, football intelligence, where as athletic as these players are, they'll be intelligent to slow the tempo down a bit and then to go again and then slow it down again. So I think that's something that they need to look out for. And Belgium's going to be a good test for USA.
But anyway,
I'm guessing you've turned to a believer there, right?
It's not a believer that I think they'll win it. But when I look at performances, I think that France has been really good. I think that Argentina's been really good, better than I thought, by the way. Messi looks as good as ever. I think the U.S. has been really good in terms of the performance against Paraguay, the performance against the first half against Australia, and the last performance against Bosnia. Right? Bosnia knocked out Wales, drew with Austria, that we're going to watch in a little bit. Knocked out Italy, 4-time World Cup champions as well, right? And they played the game okay. They were in both games. USA made them look terrible. And by the way, when the U.S. got a red card, which is a very unfortunate red card, they picked up the game and it looked even better. So for me, USA has impressed, right? And also Mexico, I would put in that category, in the Azteca in particular, or when they're playing, obviously, as a host nation.
Huge advantage.
They've got they're playing at a tempo that I haven't seen. So I'm just talking about impressive performances. So I agree back to Nigel's original point, but I just want to add USA and Mexico into that because I think they've done a great job.
I would say I was impressed with USA yesterday, going a man down, like you said, and then to get that second goal to really push it. Great character. That's a great string to the bow for them to add because they can lean on to that going further into this tournament. You know, you've got a big challenge coming up with Belgium, and to go down a man and to go again and get another goal to really put the game to bed. Great string to the bow to add.
To do it without Balogun as well, and the next game is going to be incredibly difficult. You talked about the unfortunate red card, but to sort of talk about the sort of overarching point that you're making in terms of impressive performances, I do think one of the things that we have seen at this tournament is that you can look at teams as a collection of players and say, well, Belgium have Doku and De Bruyne, and England have, Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham and, Anthony Gordon and Madueke and Rice and Elliot Anderson. All these guys are worth millions. It is about how the collective performs and how difficult it is to form an identity at a national team tournament where you got 3 weeks in the build-up to really form something. I think there are some teams that have excelled at that, and there's some other teams that have struggled. If you look at today's game, I think Portugal have struggled to form a collective. They have historically in recent tournaments, even with Ronaldo at the middle of it. What is the thing you think that separates collections of players from teams that actually put in good collective performances, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Witty, God, if I had that if I knew how to do that, I wouldn't be here. I'd be managing the teams and making a lot more money. Because you have to manufacture, like to what you're saying, you have to manufacture camaraderie. How do you do it? It's so hard. And actually, just to go back to U.S., I don't want them to hijack the entire conversation, but just to go back to U.S. with Pochettino, right? To answer your question about camaraderie and how do you do that? How do you get the team together? He kind of went in before the entire tournament and was like, these guys are not good enough at A, B, C, D, E, F. I know I'm a good manager. I don't know if they're good enough. It's up to them now. It's their opportunity. Let's see what they do about it. And actually, we've heard little whispers that they've actually banded together as a changing room, sort of with him and sort of against him, understanding that, hey, we're big boys now. We got to take responsibility here. I think Poch, in a weird way, has put the responsibility on them. So that's one way you can create it. Interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen it that way. Like the players have just banded a little bit against the establishment and said, oh, listen, we do have to step up here. But there's other ways as well. And there's other teams like Mexico, man, the energy is just through the roof, guys working for each other, flying around the field. So I just think with Portugal, and we'll see them later on, there's no button. There's no button you press and say, all right, now here's the good performance button. And we're going to pick it all up. I mean, that's tough. So, and they haven't been good enough so far.
And we'll see, obviously, over the course of the day, how Portugal and Spain, two collectives that haven't necessarily fared fantastically well. Let's get a little bit of a betting preview on this one with our gambling expert, Mackenzie Brooks, ahead of these three matches.
Okay, guys, a 3-leg parlay, one leg from every single game today to get us through the day and get over plus 200. We're not going to get cute. We're going to keep it simple, starting with Spain team total over 1.5 goals, okay? Very obtainable for this team. It's basically minus 300. We're just asking them to do what everybody's saying they should be doing. Get in, get out. Portugal to advance to the next round. So as long as they win even in extra time, even in PKs, however they want to do it, they should be able to win in regulation against this Croatia team. Again, they're around minus 300. So just asking what should be done. Then we run the ball with both teams to score, with Switzerland, with Algeria. Algeria, they're confused, okay? They're having an identity crisis. Their defense is confused. They don't know who their goalkeeper is. They've hit both teams to score in every single game in the World Cup thus far. We know that they can score. I do feel like Switzerland will score here as well. well. So those 3 legs bring us over plus 200. And one little Algeria bonus bet that I like is Algeria 11 plus shots. They hit this over this in their past 2 games, including 17 in their second game of the World Cup. No, they didn't hit it against Argentina, but first game we will give it to them, okay? Either A, they're winning this game and it's because they have the shots, or B, they're chasing in the second half. And we've seen these underdogs in the second half have to turn it on, shoot your shot, and they're just racking up the shots towards the end of the game in garbage time. So again, the 3-leg parlay, the Algeria shots. Let's pay for the weekend, guys.
I kind of like the chaos shout in the Switzerland-Algeria game. I think that's what some people are certainly hoping for. But the one that seems risky to me, Portugal to advance at that big of a price. You said earlier, Croatia have been doubted. I'm surprised that they're being doubted to this degree, Nigel. Yeah, I have to agree. That one surprised me as well, that she really favours Portugal in this one. I love Croatia. I love watching them play. Technically gifted players, and there's a street smarts about them. There's a real football knowledge with how these guys apply and play the game of football. When you talk about technical aspects, if you want to play total football, they can play total football. If you want to make it into a bit of a fight, they can make it into a bit of a fight. If you want to go long, you want to go short, they can do every aspect of football as a national side, and they're never uncomfortable. They're always in games, they've got the players, and I think that for me, it's going to be a lot more tougher game for Portugal than people think.
Yeah, I feel the same way. And she was out last night watching the U.S. game with the boys, with Jimmy and all them. Maybe she's had a few drinks. But Mackenzie's usually very sharp on some days. On some days, she's Mackenzie, makes you go broke Brooks. Like, you got to be careful with those. I don't like the Portugal one. I did like the other 3, though.
I can't speak bad about Mackenzie, to be fair. She's got me off the bottom of the table. So I'm going with Mackenzie. And we saw the YouTube comment there saying not sold on Portugal, and they'll have to deliver a performance today in Toronto. But coming up next, we'll focus more on the 3 p.m. Eastern time kickoff between Spain and Austria from SoFi Stadium. We'll bring you team news and our thoughts on these two sides next.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me.
Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events.
It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion!
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in 2 worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here. Now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Tell me, can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman,
All episodes now streaming only on Paramount+.
This is Golazo Matchday, 48 nations getting you ready for Austria and Spain from SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. For Austria, it is 3 changes from the team that drew that crazy game with Algeria that only just saw them into the stage of the World Cup. Gregoritsch comes in that forward line, Paul Vanner in that number 10 role, and Kevin Danso returns to the starting defense.
Yeah, across that back line, by the way, Danzo, Alaba, Leimer, it's Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Tottenham. So, right, you would think amazing. They don't have a clean sheet, though, yet in through the group stage. So this is a big one for them, a big opportunity for them to try to keep that clean sheet. Probably not going to have a lot of the football today. Sabitzer on the left side, also a big player for Borussia Dortmund, very well-known guy. Vanner will be the number 10, trying to pull the strings in there. Arnautovic is on the bench. He's got 2 goals. He's their leading goal scorer, but he did come off as a halftime sub in the last match, so we'll see where he's at. But this is a side that, if they want to move the needle, they got to win a big game. And this is, my God, this is a big game in front of them now. Ralf Rangnick, the coach, obviously sort of a big responsibility of what the Red Bull system is, with the way that they try to play and press and play high intensity. So really good challenge for them today.
And that is the Austria team to take this one on. For Spain, it's 2 changes from their concluder of the group against Uruguay, with Mikel Merino dropping out of the side. Dani Olmo comes into that number 10 role, and Pedro Porro comes in for Marcus Llorente, Nige.
Yes, it's a very interesting Spain side there for me, and Pedro Porro coming in will show that they want to really attack, and especially down that right-hand side, that's a lot of strength there. But I look at, obviously, Rodri, the experienced captain, being the anchor, giving a lot more freedom for Pedri to act further up the pitch, and Olmo. Olmo, for me, is going to be key in this game. Late runs into the box. Lamine Yamal, we know what he can do. One of the best players in world football right now. But I look at that midfield as the key to this game, because we know Spain are going to keep possession of the ball very well, make a lot of passes, but it's about that teeth, that bite in the final third. And maybe it might be late runs from Dani Olmo, and also Pedri having a bit more of an influence, but he has the ability to drop alongside Rodri. But for me, if he does that, it's a waste of time. Let Rodri be the one that anchors the play. Pedri get forward and trying to make things happen in the final third. We know Cucurella is going to get up there as well on the other side with 2 good centre-backs. Kubasi, the young Barcelona centre-back, who's been sensational and unbelievable how many games he's played for such a young player.
And Spain hoping to perhaps improve their performances. We saw them do well in that second game of the group against Saudi Arabia, but obviously drawing with Cabo Verde and only winning by the 1 goal against Uruguay. And Nigel, you talked about it. In Spanish, you would say dependencia. Yamal dependencia. They're too dependent on one player being good in forward areas. You can talk about, obviously, Yamal needing to deliver, but what about the other 10 players on the field? How can they improve and raise their level so it's not so reliant upon Lamine Yamal creating and scoring goals for the Spain team?
I'd have to say, for me, we talk about this, and when we say and have this conversation, it's about the attributes that Lamine Yamal has. They don't have any other player that has the same attributes that he does. That's what makes it special for this Spain side, and that's what the big difference is. Because we know Spain has a lot of talented players, but they're all very similar. Yes, they can pass the ball, technically gifted, can score goals, make things happen, but Lamine is a generation talent already, and what he does and what he brings to the Spanish side is the difference. Because when you talk about taking him out of the team, yes, we're going to see pretty football. We're going to see a lot of possession. We're going to see a lot of passing sideways. It looks beautiful, but there's no bite. There's no risk taking. There's no edge. And that's what Lamine Yamal brings to this Spain team. It's something different. It's an edge. It's a catalyst. It's what we talk about, how we describe just special players sometimes. Players that they can't be coached. They just have natural gift of footballing ability, and that's what he does.
Yeah, Spain hasn't convinced me at all with the way that they play. I think they're at a crossroads a little bit with their style of play as well. Normally when you watch Spain play, like Nigel said, it's a lot of possession. And back when you played Spain, you were like, okay, we're not touching it today. Like, they're going to pass the ball 1,000 times. We're not going to be able to get close to them. The second we expose ourselves, they're going to go boop, boop around us, and they're going to create, like, they scored with ease when they were winning and when they dominated games. Now they've added a little bit of verticality to their game where they want to take more chances with the football. They want to go fast. They want to go forward faster. They want to give it to Yamal. Yamal takes a lot of risks on the football as well. So when it turns over, they're susceptible to the counterattack as well. And I just don't think they look that sharp yet in the midfield. Like, Rodri, to me, is just like, where's the guy been since he lost the Ballon d'Or? And I understand it with the injury. Sometimes it takes time to get back, but I don't see the same.
I think there's a chemistry
deliberateness when they play.
Yeah, there's a chemistry issue in that midfield, Steve, for me as well. When you look at Rodri, now you see Dani Olmo coming. He didn't start the first game. Gavi as well in there as well. There's not real kind of chemistry or gel in that midfield area, which causes a problem. I think from when you look at Spain, people thought that the game had been reinvented again. The difference from what they had with Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams was they had wingers who get the ball wide and take fullbacks on. And that's all they did. They would actually take fullbacks on, which would create more space for other players as well and for the pullback because they were so talented at what they did. They're not the modern day wingers that we complain about. They get the ball wide and all want to come inside and do the same things. So I think for me, there is a chemistry issue with the midfield area and they do leave themselves vulnerable at times. Kubasi, like he does at Barcelona with that high crazy line, you'd always see him doing 1,001 sprints and making recovery tackles. But again, as a team, for me, I think that I'm just so worried about how dependent they have become now on Lamine Yamal.
And the wild thing is, you go back to the Euros in 2024, which they won, they didn't have Pedri available, but they found a good formula with Olmo and Fabian Ruiz ahead of Rodri. That seems like a midfield that actually works better, despite the fact that a lot of people think of Pedri as one of the best midfield players in the world.
Yeah, they did. They found a way to make it work, but at the moment, they're not making it work too well. And then again, you'd probably say you'd have to question as well the fitness of Nico Williams and Lamine Yamal. They're the key guys for them. That's just the reality of it. We know what Cucurella can do. We know what Pedro Porro can do as well when he gets forward as well. We talk about the modern-day fullbacks attacking, making it into that back stick. But when you've just got a catalyst, a special player, you can't do nothing about it. It's the same way we talk about right now about Argentina and Messi, if you want to put it in that context. The rest of the team works for Messi, and Messi does what Messi needs to do. But with Spain, you still feel that there's elements that's missing and not clicking properly to even still work for Lamine Yamal, even though he still is that influential and that important to the Spanish side.
When you go back to the Euro that they won, I think he was 16 years old. He was on fire, different sort of inspiration, different sort of spring in the step, you know, everything new to him. Now there's expectation, there's pressure. He's got to do it. The ball gets shoved into him, right? Nico Williams, when he was playing in that Euro, was like, you watching that guy during the Euro was like, I have never seen a player like this, so direct, so quick, 1v1, forget it, he's gone. And both of them, maybe not at full fitness, maybe now bigger expectations. So I think that also can change the outlook of a team and the feeling around a team when your two best guys, maybe your two most influential guys in terms of having teeth and creating moments in the other chance, because we know they have possession, but creating those dangerous moments, they're not at the top of the game yet. Are they going to maybe grow throughout the tournament? We'll see. But again, the performances haven't been like, oh, because I had them as favorites coming into.
So did I.
Into the tournament, just thinking about Yamal and what he could do in a 1v1 ability, and Nico Williams and all these pieces that they have. I had them as favorites, and then now at this stage in the tournament, now we're midway through the round of 32. I haven't been impressed. Underwhelming performances.
Would you say also, Grella, is it fair to say that there is maybe a little bit of a warrior striker problem for Spain?
Definitely.
Oyarzabal, yes, doing well, scoring goals, but would you say, is he as influential and important as...
Go back to David Villa back in previous times.
What's his name?
Fernando Torres.
No, but what's his name? The password Como now.
Who?
The Como striker.
Oh, Nico Paz?
Not Paz.
Oh, no, he's Argentinian.
Morata.
Thank you. Took a while. Sorry, ladies. Morata.
Sorry, I was digging deep trying to help you.
Would you say Morata is a bit of a miss now for what he did when he was playing at Spain?
No, I watch Morata in Serie A forever.
For Spain. We're not talking about domestically for Spain when he was in that Spanish
and
national
specifically
side.
Executing the role he was asked to execute.
Yes. I think he's a big miss. I think he's a big miss in how he played, being that target man, that number 9, that focal point, and having that kind of thing, because it makes it easier for when you've got wingers like that, how he could play his role for the Spain national side. I think Oyarzabal doesn't operate in the same kind of way.
No, they're different players for sure. I agree with that. I mean,
but that's what I'm saying. So when you look at how they set up, probably maybe having that target man again, like they used to have in the past, will make a big difference in the Spain national side.
Yeah. I mean, Morata was not really a target man, but he would stretch more, I think, the lines. But yeah, they're certainly missing from when you rewind a little bit further back, even before Morata, to David Villa, a guy that I played against for a little while. And, you know, training with him is a real eye-opener because you see the details that we talk about all the time, like the control. On one hand, you look at him and these types of players, even like Yamal, and on one hand, you look at them and you go, wow, he's not doing anything that special, right? Every time you watch a player, you think, oh, he's going to do something special. He's not doing anything that special. But on the other hand, you're like, whoa, his left foot's his weak foot. Out of 10 finishes, he scores 9. And the one that he misses is like this. And the next player, who is maybe not as good, can do it 6 times, you know? So I definitely think they're missing that type of efficiency in front of goal and that type of danger in front of goal.
Yeah. You talked earlier about pressure as well, Grella. As it relates to the Spanish national team, the pressure is that they have not performed at a World Cup since they won it in 2010, which was obviously the case with the Germans, who went out to Paraguay, and even with Italy, have not won a knockout game since they won it in 2006. But this is what it looks like over the course of the last 3 World Cups. They went out in the group in 2014 after winning it in 2010. They went out in the last 16 to Russia, the hosts, in 2018. And against Morocco as well before they made that trip to the semifinal. They have twice won the European Championship since they last won a World Cup knockout round match, but this team has not won a knockout round match for 16 years. I mean, they were the dominant team of Europe. How much will that weigh on the players going into this? Obviously, they weren't the culprits for that. They weren't all necessarily the ones on the pitch for those games, but every nation carries with them their history onto the field. How much will that be weighing on these players, the fact that they haven't done it?
Yeah, I think it weighs on them for sure. I know you mentioned Italy in there. I mean, how much did it weigh on the players when they were playing Bosnia away from home and there was going to be their 3rd World Cup missed if they didn't get it? I think those players carried those goals from the past with them on that day. I think Spain is certainly the same. It exists. It's a fact that they haven't been good enough, right? Coming into tournaments as the favorite. It's not like Germany, where Germany has fallen off now a little bit and they don't come in as favorites anymore. And we speak to Jens and he's not surprised by where the exit happened against a team like Paraguay. This team is expected to go and win tournaments still. This team has got potentially the best player in the world on their team, or the next up-and-coming best player, because Messi's still blowing my mind every time I watch him play. And so the expectation is there, and the history of the recent history of not doing good enough in the World Cup is also there. So for sure, in a game like today, where what are they, minus 500 today? They're expected to win. They're expected to go and dominate this game and win this game against an Austria side that they got different plans, right? They're a pretty good team. So there's definitely pressure from that.
Yeah, there's always pressure when you play for Spain. And like Grella said, I think the big thing you've got to look at, like you said as well, is that the European champions coming into this World Cup. Again, one of the best young, exciting players in world football. And they're coming to this tournament as the bookies' favourites, top favourites and joint favourites. So for me, that just adds more pressure for what Spain as a nation expects from these players to go out there and deliver. And at the moment, they haven't been convincing.
And Spain looking for a positive result today against Austria. Grella, I wanted to ask you about Austria because you had some experience playing in the Red Bull system, and Ralf Rangnick was sort of the mental mastermind of a philosophy of football. And it seems to be one that is unerring. They never change who they are depending on the opponent. But Spain, we talked about the level of possession that they will have today. When your approach is to be front foot press and go after a team, but they're so good with the ball, how will that change the approach for Austria in this game?
Yeah, it's a tricky one for Ralf, for sure. But their system, basically, for those who maybe don't know it, is actually a lot of the times in the game, the Red Bull system doesn't want the ball. They're more dangerous without the ball. So that's actually something that might help them in this game. There'll be triggers to when they press and how they press. And then the key is, once you win possession, how fast can you go to goal? Can you do it? If you can do it in one pass, you do it in one pass. If you can do it in 2 passes, you do it the least amount. It's very rare that they're going to start swinging it and doing all this. So there's going to be pressure. There's going to be triggers. There's going to be as direct as they can. If the ball goes out of play, they're going to try to get it into play as quick as possible as well. So that'll be all the things that happen. Now, the one downside to Red Bull system and the pressure is that you commit a lot of numbers into one quadrant of the field. So imagine you split the field in 4. You commit a lot of numbers into that quadrant. If Spain break that first line, second line, you're a little bit exposed at the back. So that's why you need a quick back line, because you play with a lot of space behind you at times. So will Spain be calm and keep the possession under pressure, or will they be able to turn the ball over and get chances from that? That's what it remains to be seen. But so we'll see how good Spain could be in the actual possession.
It sets up for a very fascinating game tactically. And both teams will have moments where they're calm and resting on the ball, I feel, and then both teams definitely want to go to goal as quickly as possible. But then also, like Grella just said there, in a breakdown of how Austria want to play and how Spain do play, they're both going to leave themselves vulnerable at times. So it could take one moment of a counter-attacking situation where someone really breaks through, and if they can be clinical in that vital moment, it could change the dynamic of the game completely.
And they play more narrow. Sorry, Witty. Like the Red Bull systems play more narrow. They're normally known for a 4-2-2-2. Where they'll play really tight in the middle of the field and create sort of numerical advantages in there and then go out from there. So Spain will want to keep it in there. Obviously, they got 3 guys in the midfield, but they'll be able to commit numbers, Austria, and make it really difficult for them. So it is tactically going to be one of the more fascinating matches we get.
all possession versus all counterattacking in that pressing style. Austria have had a very long drought since they were last in the World Cup knockout rounds. It was back in 1954 was the last time that they made it to the knockout round, and not out of the second group phase, which used to be the format. Here are the last 5 times these two teams have played. It is not very often. Last time in 2009. Here are some of the notable events since Spain last won in the World Cup knockout rounds. Instagram had yet to be released to the public. Now it's such a big part of so many people's lives. 2 popes have been elected, and of course Gangnam Style was a worldwide dance sensation since the last time. It feels incredible that it's been 2010 since Spain won a knockout round in the World Cup. For Spain, it has been since 1954 when they reached the 3rd place game in that tournament. The Champions League had yet to be founded, obviously then known as the European Cup back in 1955. Neil Armstrong walked on the moon in 1969, and of course the World Wide Web was invented in 1989. These are all things that have happened since Austria last won a game at the World Cup knockout rounds. So here they are today with an opportunity to do so against Spain at SoFi Stadium. Do you guys ultimately think in the end, we'll get to our bets later on, but do you guys ultimately think in the end that Spain are too good?
I think Spain will get the job done. I really do. But again, I'm not saying it's going to be easy because Austria, for me, they've impressed me in what they've done in Ralf Rangnick has got them to do and how they play, their approach to belief and confidence. But Spain do have that more bit of quality that I feel that they can hang on and get the job done.
Yeah, I just think in the front, they lack a little dynamism, Austria, and I think Spain will have chances to even play, maybe not their best game, like we haven't seen them play great yet. Not their best game, and still get the job done. They're massive favorites today.
And it will be a 3 p.m. Eastern time at kickoff from SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back more with Golazo Matchday 48 Nations next.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon? When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready? Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days, but the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in 2 worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here. Now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Tell me, can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad would want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Spain and Austria is the match from 3 p.m. Eastern Time in beautiful Southern California. SoFi Stadium, the venue for this one. Spain hoping to win a match in the World Cup knockout round for the first time in 16 years. Austria for the first time since 1954. 72 years they have waited to do this. And on the subject, we'll get now to our betting preview of this one as we'll issue our bets. We'll start first by taking a look at our Golazo Matchday standings. Who's doing well? And Nige, I have heard that Mackenzie Brooks has done well to get you up from the bottom of the table. You've gone from rock bottom all the way up to the heady heights of 7th. And now, Grella, you're the one that needs some help at currently rock bottom of the table.
Who said Mackenzie helped me? I did it myself.
You said Mackenzie helped you.
I did it myself. No, I didn't say that.
Your dementia kicking in?
Well, all I know is Mike Grella's at the bottom and it ain't me. You just keep looking up at me. That's all that matters, Mike.
Number 9 bets?
How many shifts have you done here? Exactly.
You've been busy. You've been working.
I've been living it.
You've been working. I remain second in the table as a result of.
Witty, I didn't even see you up there.
Yeah, the draw between Netherlands and Japan was a great, and I had a Crescencio Somerville prop as well that was able to get me there. So today, the prompt that the production team have asked us to go for is not anytime goal scorer, the first goal scorer individual in this one. So we're going to start with you, Grella. Who have you gone for as the first player to score in this game?
Yamal. I think that Spain have to have a good start. It's a big moment for them. They're going to get the ball into him fast, whether he's the one who creates the chance or creates the goal, or he gets it on the weak side from Baena. We'll see. But I think if anything's going to happen, it's going to be through him.
Nigel, who have you gone for? First to score in this one.
I went for Dani Olmo. To get the goal there. Late run from midfield.
Plus
really
600. Wow.
That's a good one, isn't it?
That's a very good bet.
Yeah,
for a player who gets involved in good creative areas?
He's a goal-scoring midfielder. That's how he's really judged. Carries the ball well, final third, driving with a purpose. So I've just got a feeling that Dani Olmo will be the one.
So I have drawn some inspiration from some of the games we've already seen at this World Cup where we saw Paraguay score first against Germany. We saw DR Congo score first against England. So I have gone for an Austrian goal scorer, Marcel Sabitzer, to score first at plus 2,000.
Wow.
That's how you do it, Woody. That's how you do it.
You got to swing for the fences. You got to swing for some home runs. So I've gone for Sabitzer as my goal scorer, and I can see it has to be early. If it doesn't happen in the first 10 minutes for Austria, then I don't imagine it's going to happen. They've got to kind of hit him with a bit of a sucker punch early. I think that's really the only way for Austria. But Austria are massive underdogs in this one, to the point where I kind of think that they are being a little bit underrated here, just not only in terms of what they've done, qualifying for the World Cup for the first time in a while. They competed well at the Euros. They have an identity, but also the fact they've got some pretty talented players. It's not a team of also-rans who are going to get run over, I don't think. Maybe they will, but I think Austria has something about them.
I would agree with that. I think for me, when I've watched them play, I've been very impressed. And the word that you use, team, is the best way to describe them. They really are a team. There's no really reliance on one specific individual player. They work well together. They press together. They're very dynamic. Again, the only thing you could probably criticize them the most, that's a worry for them, is that real cutting edge in the top end of the pitch. That real goal scorer, I think, is what really lets them down. But from defensively in midfield, the way they move and press and do everything, great. It's just that goal scorer. You need that goal scorer, because when you look at everything that's happened in the World Cup so far, look at the nations we talk about. What have they all got? They've got a top world-class goal scorer that's scored 5 or 6 goals in the competition already, where people are already talking about these nations getting to the final because they've got that difference maker in the top of the pitch.
I disagree with both of you. Spain by 1 million today, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, they have unbelievable players.
What have you seen so far from Spain that leads you to be in that direction?
The thing is, when I look at Austria, they lack the dynamism. I know they want to play a certain way, like we explained. I know they have good, decent names on paper. They lack dynamism in the final third. They've conceded a goal in every single game. They conceded 3 goals to Algeria. Argentina, they didn't even put up a fight. They lost 2-0. They just looked like they kind of rolled over with the high-level teams. Spain is obviously Argentina's level by the bookies. So I just think Spain, have too much quality, and at some point they're going to have to up the tempo and figure it out. And I think today could be that day. So I think over 90 minutes, Spain is a nightmare for anyone. It's going to be a nightmare for Austria today.
We also saw Spain draw with who
Cabo Verde in the opening game of the game.
Cabo Verde, right? We also saw Spain draw with them, right?
Do you think, because obviously,
good.
I mean, are we perhaps overlearning the lesson of the group stage then with Spain, where they didn't play well in that game? They played well against Saudi, but then against Uruguay, it was a bit of a slog in Guadalajara. are we thinking too much about maybe they are pacing themselves for the longer term? They didn't put their full effort into the group stage, and now is when they. Is there a switch that can be flicked for them?
Yeah, we just said that before. We were like, oh, it's not easy to flip a switch for Portugal. It's hard, I think, Woody. I think it's hard to just go boop and you just start flying with these performances, you know? They've showed some, like, real minimal flashes, but it's not the full thing. Like for instance, the opposite would be if you watch France. If you watch France or even Argentina, they look put together. Even some of their performances have not been perfect, but they look put. I mean, the first half of the first game France played was not great.
Senegal, yeah. Yeah,
it was not great. Actually, probably should have been 1-0 down in that first half. But when you look at the full package of the 3 games of the group stage, and even the game against Sweden the other day, you're like, okay, they're pretty good. Like, it looks really good, and it looks put together, and it looks like they've worked on things. It looks like they figured it out. With Spain and Portugal,
Portugal,
I haven't seen it
England,
yet.
Brazil, all of those nations that we would speak highly of haven't. And just to add to what Grella's saying, he's right. When you look at France and Argentina, what they have done as a nation is they've stamped their authority on the games. They've gone 100%. In and stamped their authority on most of the games that they've played in to show everyone, to say we mean business. The likes of Brazil, Spain, Portugal, England, all these other teams we talk about who's supposed to be in the conversation, they haven't stamped their authority as well as those other 2 teams.
And Spain looking to stamp their authority today against Austria. On the other side, we're going to be talking to Gaizka Mendieta, the former Spanish international, get his thoughts on this team ahead of their round of 32 match against Austria from SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. That's next on the Golazo Network.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me.
Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events.
It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in 2 worlds.
There are others, but they're not like us. We need to get out of here now.
Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And we live the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Tell me, can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gotta blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Welcome back to Golazo Matchday, 48 nations with Nigel Reo-Coker, Mike Grella, and now in the build-up to Spain against Austria, we're going to talk to the former Spanish international, Spanish legend, Gaizka Mendieta, who's going to talk to us about this match. And Gaizka, I just want to get first your initial perspective of what we've seen from Spain so far this tournament. It's been a bit of a mixed bag after that draw against Cabo Verde. How do you see Spain going into this game?
Well, yeah, I think like most teams in this tournament, they're not being really consistent, apart from France and Argentina, I would say. But I mean, also the team that it got selected in the end by Luis, some players were coming from injury or actually still in the injury, but hoping within the tournament will progress and will get better. So I think we're at the stage where obviously Lamine is key in this team, but I think Nico also very important in the system of Luis. So trying to adapt to not having a left winger, as I think it gives balance to the system. So adapting to that. Also, Rodri, I think, is key in this team, in an important role as a leader, and is still, trying to get his minutes, his game pace. But hopefully, we'll get through today, and these players will get minutes, will get a pace in their legs, and Spain will get better and better.
Guys, I would love to know your opinion on this. I've described Spain as very dependent on Lamine Yamal. And when he's not playing, I see the old Spain of a lot of possession, but no real creativity, no teeth, no catalyst in the final third. What's your view on the team with Lamine and without Lamine?
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, not only the quality that he brings into, I think, obviously, defenders and teams, when he's on the pitch, they put more attention. We see two players like closing down to him. That obviously creates spaces somewhere else on the pitch. But not only the creativity, but also the pace. I think pace is something Spain needs. That's why I thought maybe today he would play with Ferran, someone that he could make those runs and important in a team like Austria. But he's keeping the same team as he started last game. Certainly, yeah, the ability of Lamine and the presence of Lamine intimidates teams on his own.
Is it also fair to question Spain to say that there might be a striker issue with Spain, really not having that real recognised striker? I know Oyarzabal's done well, but do you feel that he's good enough for the system, or do you think that maybe that's an area that could be questioned and improved?
I mean, I would not say improve. I would say, improvement in terms of position. I think in terms of players, Oyarzabal has been a surprise for many people that not really follow La Liga, but he's certainly a fantastic player. It's true that Spain, not now, but for the previous tournaments, we've not really had a proper number 10, which it was the question asked to Luis at the beginning when he gave the list. Because, again, when teams defend very deep and have a lot of numbers of players in the box, we don't have a player that you can start putting crosses and hoping that we'll get some. So that's something probably we miss it. But is Borja on the bench, but not a player like that. So I guess we can say to be a more complete squad and more competitive in different scenarios, we would have needed a number 9. Yeah.
Guys, in the U.S., we look at the national team and we say, okay, this defines success for us, if we get this far, right? And I think it's about the quarterfinal, right? Would say this defines that we've moved the needle. What is that for Spain? What is that for the Spanish public? And what is that for this team?
I think even if we look at the World Cups, we've not done very well since 2010, to be honest. But because in the Euros and the Nations League, we've won it recently, and I think the expectations are very high. Also because of the football we've been playing, expectations from fans, from media, I think even within the national team are high, and we expect Spain to get semi-final, final. Why not? In the mind of the players, in the mind within the team, is to win this World Cup. Can we do it? If Spain is at the level individually and collectively that these players can give, certainly we can. But if we're not, of course, I see other teams better than Spain at the moment.
Guys, my question is, what worries you the most about this Spain national side? What would you say is an area that you feel weakness? Weakness. If I can get my words out.
I would say, as we mentioned, the fast. No, we're capable of keeping the ball, but we need to move the ball very fast. be very wise and very precise in those balls to put between the lines and behind the defenders. Whether it's Oyarzabal or Ferran when it comes up, of course Lamine, trying to get these players to be involved as quick as possible, because the moment you slow down, teams we see in this World Cup, fitness-wise, they are very fit. They are tactically very good. So you need to be very, very fast in moving the ball. And I think sometimes, maybe not against Saudi Arabia, which is not the rival we find in today. But apart from Saudi Arabia, Spain is not really shown what they're capable of. So, of course, we have to show that against a rival like Austria today.
Talking with Gaizka Mendieta ahead of the Spain match against Austria. Gaizka, I wanted to ask you about the position opposite Lamine Yamal. You mentioned earlier in terms of a profile of a player that maybe is missing with Nico Williams' injury. Alex Baena will start again in that position. He did not have a great season for Atletico in La Liga. How much of that is a problem area for them that they don't really quite have that counterbalance to Lamine on the other side?
Well, it makes me think that Luis, the coach, is thinking, okay, Austria will be a compact team. Maybe Baena is very good in small spaces, quick feet, can shoot from outside, and then leaving the wide areas for Cucurella, making, of course, the usual runs and going forward. That's how I'm thinking. They're thinking. Of course, yeah, it's not Nico Williams, which gives width, pace, good 1v1s, and I think again that's what gives balance and identity to Spain. With Baena, obviously, it changed the way we have to play. It changed the way they have to understand how to put the ball in between the lines and in the hole, in the gaps. And again, be very precise and quick in those movements. But yeah, let's see how it goes, because Austria is very good at that. So certainly not the identity of and philosophy of Spain with two wide wingers and fast and pace, but adapting to what we have right now.
Gaizka, very quickly before we let you go, do you guys think you get it done today? Spain through the last 16?
Well, yes, I think we will suffer, but yes, we will make it through for sure.
Gaizka, is it going home to Spain?
It's coming home, yes, we hope so. Again, I think the team is getting better and better at the games, making it through today. Boost of confidence and giving more time for these players to get fit. We'll be fit for the final.
Nice. So we heard you're in Miami. Don't worry, I'll get your number and give you some more recommendations.
Yes, please.
Spain taking on Austria from 3 p.m. Gaizka Mendieta, former Spain international. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
And we'll continue build up to this one. This is Golazo Matchday, 48 nations talking World Cup all day long.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days, but the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
I look crazy. It's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it? Crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Welcome back to Golazo Matchday, and we wanted to talk about some of the best players that we've seen so far in this tournament and put them into tiers. This is our World Cup difference makers tier. So we've got a whole bunch of players around the periphery, and then we're sorting them into three categories: X Factor, flashes of greatness, and role player is the biggest, I guess, dismissal that we'll have of some of these guys. So
role player or ghost?
Or, we had ghost initially. That was part of the pitch meeting, but we have left it as role player. So we're going to start by probably talking about the players that you most consider in the very top tier. Of this group of players you see right now on the screen, who is instantly going into the X Factor category?
Let's put Leo Messi up there straight away.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt.
Lamine Yamal up there straight away.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
This tournament, just so that people know. This tournament so far.
No,
right?
Who is the, talking about these teams now, for the tournament, yes, plays a part, but I'm saying it for these nations that they play for,
okay,
who is the X Factor for?
All right, just so the people know. Keep going. Let's go.
Yes. I would also have to say, for me, you have to put Mbappe up there for France.
Oh, yeah,
definitely.
Absolutely.
And you put Dembele as well.
Dembele as well up there as well. It's a bit heavy French.
I would disagree with that.
Okay.
But obviously, you guys know more about football than I do.
But it's a good point.
Because Dembele
is
in terms of this flashes of greatness, he scored the hat trick in the final game of the group against a rotated Norway team, but otherwise has not been as impactful for me.
Let's swap Dembele with Vinicius Jr. for me. He's Brazil now. He lost his name.
They kept detaching his name there.
He lost his name.
He's getting over there. In the meantime, Vinny Jr.'s got to be the X Factor there.
I agree.
Yeah.
And if he isn't, Brazil not going to do anything because he's very important. Hakimi from Morocco, I think, also is the X Factor.
X Factor.
He's incredible.
Erling Haaland for sure.
Yes, Erling Haaland for sure in the top section. Harry Kane, you have to put.
I would not say he's the X Factor.
After yesterday, you wouldn't be in the World Cup anymore. Scored 2 great goals, yes, but still performances haven't been great. I think for me, when you talk about X Factor of the England team, the drive, the energy, the edge, Jude Bellingham has been that X Factor for England. You would not be at the World Cup right now. Anymore.
You know,
without him,
he's not the X Factor for England. I've always said to me that the most important player for England is Jude Bellingham. Yes, he's a goal scorer, but I think Jude Bellingham's more influential for me. I would put Harry Kane in flashes of greatness, which is what he did yesterday.
I agree with you in the respect of it is the perfect descriptor because I thought he was fairly anonymous for most of the lion's share of the game. But I guess that is sort of when you talk about football, it's kind of a fascinating thing.
He did his job. Score goals. Strikers. That's what he used to do as well. Score goals. Do your job. Do your job and go on.
But it's also
I didn't score goals. That's why I'm.
It's the most important thing to do in the game, though. Is score goals.
But
it's not just a thing that you do.
He's still not the X Factor. The X Factor, you might not always score goals.
But also, we're talking about not just the performances that he's had already. We're talking about if England were to go on and win this thing.
True.
He's got to be the X Factor. That's what I'm saying.
No, he has not. I'm saying for me, Jude Bellingham is the X Factor. Whether he's scoring goals or creating goals, he has that X Factor thing about him. I think Jude Bellingham is more of an X Factor thing
let's move on. All right.
Okay, let's take it to some CONCACAF players. Pulisic, from what we've seen so far, where would you put him?
I will put him as flashes of greatness. I think the USA team is a real good team effort. Everyone's been putting in a shift. Everyone's been doing well. Malik Tillman's been great. Weston McKennie's been great. I think the whole team has been great.
By the definition of what you guys... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, that's what I was going to say.
By the definition of what you guys are saying about it, he also, like Harry Kane, he never... we cover him and say, he never dominates from start to finish, but he does pop up in big moments, and I think he's going to be really important for them. He's a level above everyone else on the team. But if Harry Kane ended up there, then Pulisic's got to be there as well.
Okay, and then Raul Jimenez from Mexico. He's been very good so far, but you can maybe argue that Quiñones has been the better player so far this tournament.
Flashes of greatness.
Okay.
Will not argue against that.
All right, let's get to one of the greatest players in the history of the game, Cristiano Ronaldo. Where are you putting
here,
Cristiano?
Baby. Right over here.
Going down. We're calling. Well, he's also lost his head. Cristiano Ronaldo. We're calling him a role player.
Yeah.
Is that too harsh, Nige?
I think it's too nice.
Agree with it.
We need a fourth one.
People are going to argue, is Cristiano showing respect? This isn't about lack of respect or not understanding what he has done in the game of football. He's achieved.
We love Ronaldo.
Love him.
Unbelievable.
But right now, for the bigger picture and the good of Portugal, he's a role player. He's not the main player no more, in my opinion. We've seen it already. Watch the games that they've played in. Look at the chances that maybe a younger Ronaldo would have put them right in the back of the net. You can see he's a hindrance to this Portugal team than he is anything else.
Listen, I didn't make the rules. I'm not Jesus Christ. At 41 years old, your body doesn't move anymore. 40 years old, whatever it is, your body doesn't move that way anymore. It's just human anatomy. I mean, it doesn't take a lot of analyzing to see that. So once you get up around those ages, especially we know as footballers, as you get older, longevity is usually for the goalkeepers, defenders, midfielders, and then strikers. You rarely ever see strikers getting into their 40s and being able to affect the game in a big way.
Would Luka Modric be in that same category then?
Luka, I'll put in flashes of greatness for me.
He's of a similar age profile. What is it that he's doing differently than Ronaldo?
Different roles. Different role. Luka Modric is still playing in that midfield role where the intelligence that he has, the experience he's got, he can slow the tempo, he's got the quality to hit that killer pass. Doesn't have to be the main focal point in it's you got to score the goals, you got to score the goals. He's got some other good players around him, a few younger players up top. So it's a different demand on him playing in midfield than Ronaldo and the striker for the sharpness, because you have to be sharper playing as a striker in that moment when you've got defenders coming around you, when in midfield you can have more time, you can buy yourself time than what Ronaldo is under. Ronaldo's under more pressure playing higher up the pitch than Luka would be in midfield.
Modric hasn't been good for 3 months. That's the concern. At Milan, they dropped from Champions League position, second place, where we thought actually they were going to go on and win the Scudetto, and they dropped out of the Champions League altogether. He caused the penalty in the first game because he's a little bit slow to react. I know it was his first one in a Croatia shirt. He's a legend of the game again. But if you're making the argument that Ronaldo hasn't been good this tournament and that he's of his age and everything else, then you've got to put Modric along the side with him. But I also could understand why he's...
So make a decision. You just had a great speech. What do you want to put?
I like my job.
You want to move him now?
All right. Two Belgian players. I think De Bruyne has been a role player in this tournament.
De Bruyne is a role player for
100%.
me. Lukaku is the X factor. Belgium are a different team when he plays. More influential. You don't agree with it? More influential
of
course, for Belgium.
But that's
when
where the definition's getting skewed
off the bench. No. But for the difference for Belgium to have...
You say this guy only pops up now and then and scores
Harry
goals.
Kane.
No, I mean, then what's he?
We're talking about a player being the difference.
This guy
for
pops
their
up twice
team.
a year.
Yeah, but it's about being the difference for the team to go further in the competition. When you look at Belgium right now, what we've seen...
Yeah, without him.
Without him,
he
right
makes
now,
a difference.
Came on against Egypt, made the difference. Came on against Senegal and made the difference.
That's my point. So that's why I would say yes. In that scenario, what it is, he's the X factor for Belgium. Without
you like him there, Woody?
Yeah, I understand Nigel's point. I just think it's. I mean, he played 40 minutes in Serie A this season.
Well, look at
yes,
okay.
It's like no. I'm just saying, like he hasn't. Is he that good of a player? We're saying he's a difference maker.
For me personally, he's a game changer, though. He is a game changer.
Sure.
If you have him, he's like he makes a big difference.
For what we've just seen in the World Cup, we've seen the impact he's had coming on for Belgium. That's what matters right now. Him in a Belgium shirt. We forget everything about the Serie A domestic season.
Kai Havertz flashed the greatness, right? I mean, they knocked out of the tournament.
Yeah.
Right? So he's not able to save them that much. And then get this gentleman right here.
Vozinha.
Get him in the role player, please.
You're going to go Vozinha? He's the reason why they're here. They wouldn't be in the knockout stage without Vozinha.
Get him in the role player. I mean,
unbelievable.
I watched him play the other day, too. A ball went off the post. He went to go pick it up, and he knocked it in off his hands, and he got saved by offsides. And I understand he's got all the followers and everything.
Great feel-good story, but let's not act like he was severely tested and pulling out world-class saves, okay? Doing his job.
They were hit right
out. Great feel-good story.
I love the guy.
It's a great
Amazing
team.
story.
It's a great team. Yes. It is a great team effort.
His mom got to watch him play, right? Is that right? She got in. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Get him in the role player.
You okay?
We've got a little too wild with the Vozinha talk. All right. We still have so much more to cover in this World Cup. This is our difference makers tiers. Stay with us on the Golazo Network.
the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me.
Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events.
It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here. Now.